those of you guys that are new, my name is Raquel May David, and I am your host for the night. My co-host is David Sanchez, and our wonderful moderator is JM. Hey, JM. We are going to be here to help you with the full onboarding process of the Dispute Panda software, and we want to make sure that you have everything you need to get started and to be great in these credit streets. So with that being said, I normally start off with an icebreaker as well as our community. So if you guys are not yet with Dispute Panda, but you are looking to start, or you are already with us, I definitely want you guys to get down with the community. It is a platform where, number one, JM is always on there answering questions for y'all, zipping into doing it. So if you have questions about the platform and it's not a Monday or a Wednesday, going forward a Thursday, please do not hesitate to go ahead and sign up for the community. So this is what it looks like when you click on the option that's now currently in your chat. But if you guys are here, I just want to go ahead and give you guys a warm welcome. For those of you guys that are on camera, thank you, because it gives me the ability to kind of see if I lost anyone or if I was speaking too quickly, so that I can slow down and make sure this is a wonderful conversation. If you guys are not able to come on camera, totally okay. But I do want to say thank you so much for giving me your Wednesday. If you are by your computers, okay, we get it in, okay? The goal of this class that we have is to onboard you onto the software. Ideally, I would like you guys to be able to add yourself in the software if you have not done so. The goal is for you to also be a user of the software for several reasons. One very important reason is if you are doing this as a business and you are just coming into the credit repair space, you can speak to the letters, how much comes back, the time frame, and all of the things, okay? If you are doing this for your friends and your family, no brainer. If you guys have not loaded yourself in yet, the goal is to get you loaded, get your documentations in, and before the end of the class, you will be onboarded in real time. You'll be able to send out your first round of letters. So I like to start out with normally asking everyone, please drop a Panda in the chat if you already have the Dispute Panda software. Drop a Panda in the chat. Hey, Miss Clay, you ain't got to drop nothing, girl. I know what you're doing. Now, do you have a question tonight? If you do, let me know, because I do open up in different spaces for Q&A, and I want to make sure that I'm answering any questions, concerns, or comments that you guys have. Oh, I like it. Hey, Jason, Panda. If y'all follow me on social media, I post that Panda song every Monday and Wednesday, okay? Me and Designer got a good relationship. Now, we ain't got no cards and scammers or nothing, but the beginning, we rocking with on that track, okay? So if you guys have the Panda software, drop one Panda. If you have the software and you have also sent out your first round of letter, please drop a 2. If anyone has any questions throughout, definitely raise your hand. You can find the raise hand emoji on your screen. So definitely let me know. It'll be my pleasure to make sure that we support you guys getting started. And we're going to talk about so many things: how to get into the system, what are some perks, how to have this platform for the free 99 and send out your letters for the free 99. And that's what gives me joy. If y'all don't know, I'm a mother of 4. I like free, okay? Because they expensive. Okay, they expensive. As my 6-year-old would say, they expensive, okay? So I like to make sure that anytime that I can give value in a system that works, my job is to make it happen, okay? So we are going to start off on the home screen. Before I get started, does anyone have any general questions? Because I like to start kind of like 5 minutes into to give time for people to come into the space. Does anyone have any questions, concerns, comments, or gifts that y'all want to give? It's the Christmas season. I don't know, y'all might be in the gift giving mood, okay? Me and JM is ready. All right, Mr. Hall, what questions do you have before we get started?
It's a general question, so this call might not be for me. Can you hear me?
Yep, loud and clear.
This call might not be for me, but it could be for me because I've gone through my first round
Okay.
and I'm on day 45 and I just hadn't seen any results. And I'm kind of because I'm not as engaged as I need to be in order to figure out what's going on. That's one of the reasons why I jumped in. But I'm just like, I'm kind of like, you have that enthusiasm and it
Right.
just kind of goes down. So I'm just like, Dag, did this work? I still have my same credit score. I can't read and understand what had happened
What had
or
happened?
right. So, with all that said, maybe you can help out, and hopefully, you can.
Okay, so that is a great question. Now, normally we do not touch it, but we do have a little breathing space. What I
Hmm.
can advise is setting expectations is definitely key on this journey, especially if you're doing this for other people who are novice like you are, right? You're like, I'm new to this. I'm really not quite sure what's going on. So ideally, when you are speaking, or for me, who's been doing credit on and off for 19 years, my verbiage and my viewpoint is going to be completely different than someone that is new in the space, because we're looking for two different things. Most of the times people come into credit repair looking for an increase in numbers. I'm bringing you in as a client to help you with your numbers, but ideally to make sure that there's no errors, no mistakes, no outdated, erroneous information on the credit report. So I'm concerned about your body, and when I say body, like your
I get it. I
internal
get
health.
it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like your
Don't
internal
worry.
health,
Don't worry.
wherein like normally people are looking at the aesthetic portion, right? So with that being said, when you're going through and you're saying you're at day 45, I have a few questions that I want to ask. The first question that I would have is, you've already pulled your second round, correct?
I haven't done anything second round. Like
Okay.
I'm just looking at day 45 or whatever.
Got it. Okay, well, that's great. So let's talk about it. I'm gonna pause this conversation really quickly. When
Definitely.
we get into the actual software, there's some key things that I want to show you, and it's gonna be like really quickly as soon as we get started. Because I think once you know the flow and once you know what you're supposed to do, we're then going to be able to have a deeper conversation. And then if you guys need any private one-on-one outside of the onboarding, I'll drop my calendar link so you guys will have access to book with me. So hang tight, because we're going to be able to cover that. Because if you're saying I'm at day 45 and I haven't done anything, you're in a really good spot, because personally, even though the software gives you the flow to work every 35 days, I am a 45-day company. So I don't send my clients letters out until the 45th day. It's my standard operating procedure. So you're going to get a little insight on how I kind of do things, but I'm also going to show you what the system is going to tell you. And then I'm going to give you the whys behind it, so that as you're going through, you'll already have the flow, you'll know how everything goes, and then you can make a decision as to if you want to stay at 35 days or if you want to push it out to that 45-day window. Sounds
Okay.
good?
Can I say this one thing?
Yeah.
Should I feel dejected at all? Because I believe that I don't think that any of my inquiries or things that were supposed to be taken off. Like, should I feel
So
dejected or that's just part of the process?
no, and here's the thing, because if you've done nothing, you don't know if taking it off. You follow what I'm saying? You're saying you sent the letter out, you're
Mm-hmm.
at day 45, you
Mm-hmm.
haven't really done anything else. I'm going to show you how you're going to be able to do that second round and what that's going to look like. And then what are you looking for? Okay? Because if
Totally.
you're because that there's a gap there, and I want to bridge that gap, and we're going to be able to dive in. So don't go anywhere. Like, don't leave me. Okay. Y'all that's in here right now, don't just leave me. Okay. Now I know it's kind of late, and I know Christmas is Christmasing. Okay. Just go ahead and
Yeah.
hang on in, because y'all ain't gonna see me on Monday. Okay. So just get all this in tonight.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So hang on tight. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna get started. We are at 8:09. So if you guys are new to the platform, I want to tell you that the Dispute Panda is the world's most advanced, effective AI software that we were able to go ahead and create. The Dispute Panda team was able to create for an opportunity for you to have a free software to house information, as well as a platform to go ahead and draft the letters for you. And because of the AI technology, it gives you the ability to go ahead and ensure that no letter is the same. So although I will be showing you guys a flow, myself and my husband have used the platform together. And although we pick the same forms, I'm telling y'all right now, the verbiage is not the same because it's reading the information off of that individual's report. So I like to cover, y'all know me, I like to talk about the money, okay? The real deal capital. So the Dispute Panda standard platform is 100% free. It's pay as you go. And if you are using any other software for monitoring outside of Credit Dyno, you are paying $17 per month per person. Okay. So if it's you, your husband, your wife, your best friend, you're just covering that $17 for that month of attack. Now, if you use Credit Dyno, which I'm going to show you guys in a moment, that is a credit monitoring software that it basically speaks to Dispute Panda, and you will actually get a free round of attacks every 35 days if you maintain your credit monitoring software through Credit Dyno. So I like to let you guys know that because the platform is free, the cost is only to generate the letters. However, we have a workaround to not pay for the letters, which is getting with Credit Dyno. Now, if you choose to upgrade your services and move from the free platform, you can go to the pro. It is currently 14-day trial for $1. And then from there, it's $197 per month. I will highlight some of the features here. And then as we go into the actual platform, I will also show you some amazing features that are on there as well, to go ahead and let you guys know what the sauce is for the pro. So one of the pro options is that you have the ability to have a secured client portal, to have conversations with your clients for them to upload IDs, documentation, any letters that came back, as well as having a secured email communication. They could sign contracts, they can make payments, all of those things. So once you go from just doing business for yourself to doing good business for other people, or if you're already in business and switching from another platform, you have the pro capability to make sure everything is secured and safe, and you can give the work assignment to your client that they need to do, i.e. get your credit monitoring, put your IDs in, and all of the things, okay? If you pay for the yearly option, it is you get 2 months for free, and it's $1,970 for a full annual membership. So I am going to go ahead and show you some things that are included. Now we're going to cover the pro, the calculated integration, which comes with the pro feature in the actual platform. What I want to cover is this particular tab right here. I feel like a lot of people miss this tab. This tab is an epic tab. The training tab is also within the software. The reason why this tab is important is because the tab gives you the clear breakdown of what you should be sending out on your report every 35 days. So if you click this free download option, it will take you to the actual new and improved, concise flow pattern that you want to utilize in order to repair your credit or your client's credit if you're just getting into the market, right? Now, with that being said, I do know that there's some people that may have used this old flow. And I don't know, did you use this old flow, Mr. Jason? Okay, so I'm going to tell you that it's completely up to you if you want to keep with this flow. But if you guys are new into the community, okay, hey, Miss Henry, you use that old flow. Okay. So you can choose to continue with the old flow. I'm going to have a very direct and clear conversation. The reason why the new flow came into play was because there were a lot of people asking, what's the best option? Which one do I pick? Do I pick red versus blue? So the beta testing team went through and said, hey, we did this round. This was effective. And not only that, we're going to incorporate the letters that need to go out to the third-party providers. And we're also going to educate you because a lot of people go to YouTube University. So we're going to give you guys the opportunity to also know at what point in this flow can you or should you go ahead and file a CFPB complaint. So if you go to the training tab, you have not only videos that walk you through, you have the ability to go through the full sequence of what's going on and know what letter am I picking. And this new flow also takes out the certified mail option. So a lot of the flows that we had before, some had to be in color, some had to be certified, some had to be double-sided. This is making it very streamlined, very easy for the new people that are learning credit. Now, once you have learned credit, if you guys have the old flow, you can transfer back and forth. If you are using the old flow and you do not want to stay with it, I'm going to tell you guys right now, I have clients that are not leaving the old flow. I'm still using my Red Attack, okay? And I'm not moving them over to this flow because I've been seeing the movement on their profile. The new clients that I have coming in, I have switched them over to this new plan, especially since I have two sets of clients. So I have clients that have other credit monitoring softwares and they have not switched over to my credit dyno. So for them, if they were already in the system, I'm still using that old flow. But if you guys are brand new, or if you want to switch over, my recommendation would be that if you are on month 2, month 3, and you're coming over to the new flow, you're going to start back on month 1 with this flow. So definitely keep in mind, figure out what you want to do. You do not have to jump ship, but this is the most streamlined, in your face, how do we get this done process, okay? That you can get done. So I wanted to point out the training because the actual guide on what letters do I pick, when do I send them out, what variation of attack am I putting, is literally under the training tab. And we also got videos. Let's talk about it. We also got videos. So if you are not here with me and you're like, wait a minute, how do I add a client again? Or how do I get a free credit round? How do I check the history? All of that information is available in the training video for you guys to consume and process, okay? The contact tab. Now, our customer service team, shout out JM. JM is not here 24/7, but our customer service team is here 24/7, Monday through Sunday, okay? And they can be reached at info@disputepanda.com. If you have questions, concerns, if the question is case specific, meaning it has to do with that specific client, my recommendation is to go ahead and do the client support. I always drop this in every live that I'm in every room I'm in. Y'all get this free 99 software called Loom, LOOM.com. It allows you to go ahead and record your screen showing exactly what's going on, and then you're able to get a link and embed it. You can put it right here in the explanation and say, hey, I'm having a problem uploading or getting the credit report. I'm having a problem with seeing the history. And you can show them exactly what you're seeing so that the customer service support can watch the video. Because sometimes written communication is not always simple, but if you're able to show along with the writing, it does make it a lot easier, and you get results a lot faster for any changes that you need because they can see what you see. Right? As far as any general questions, such as you want to do beta testing, you want to be a part of the partnership, you have some press release, okay, because a girl got a TV show, okay, and you want to go ahead and get Dispute Panda to advertise, you can go ahead and put this information in and submit it, and then the Dispute Panda team will get back to you. So that is the basic coverage that I want to go over on the screen here. Before we get started, does anyone have any questions on the home page before we sign in? Mic check, 1 2 1 2.
I don't have a question about the home page.
Okay.
I was trying to catch you before you started because
Okay.
I finally did it for myself.
Yes, come on. Mm-hmm.
And I think it's been over 30 days, but I'm like, I don't know when will I start seeing results, or do I supposed to go back and send the letters back out? Like, I didn't know how often I'm supposed to do it.
So my question is, did you download this dispute flow file?
I don't think so.
Okay. So that's where I think we're getting the gap. So the very first thing that you need to do is go into the training. I need you to click on the free guide, right? That says free download. Hold on, let me show you. It's going to say free download. And then, because if you're saying you sent out letters, you don't know where it's at. What letter did you send out?
I mean, I know how to get to it, and I seen where it said I sent out the letters, but I was just like, I don't know, like, I didn't know, like, if I have to send them out again, like, how often am I supposed to send them out again? Because I know it's been over 30 days, and I'm like, I don't know what, after I send them out, I didn't know what's next or what I was supposed to do after that. And I try to watch the video. I watched the video as I did it, but I just didn't know, like, what was next after I sent out the letters.
Okay, so my question that I'm at, great response. My question that I'm asking is, when you downloaded the guide, did you understand the guide? I guess that's where we need to start. Did you understand what the guide was saying?
I think I did. It's been a minute since I did it, so I'm gonna be honest, I can't remember.
Nope, got it. Next question: have you pulled your updated credit report if it's been more than 35 days?
I did probably, I want to say maybe a week or two ago. I'm not. It's been probably a week or two ago when I pulled it, and I just seen it, and I was looking, and I was like, at this point, I don't know what I'm doing, and I kept trying to catch the live, but I would be asleep. So
got it. So the reason why I'm asking about if you understood the breakdown of the flow is because over here on the side it says attack frequency. So on the flow, this flow is telling you that you're supposed to send out a letter every 35 days, and it's telling you the day that you would do it. So in essence, and I'm just going to say for me, I count day one the day that I actually take the letter to the post office. So even if I did the round of attack, let's say tonight, right? Like I get off the phone with you guys and I'm working on letters, which by the way, I have a bunch on my printer right now, but let's say I print the letter today, but I don't actually get it to the mail until Saturday. Well, of course, we know the holiday comes, all that other stuff. So I'm not necessarily counting my day one until about Tuesday or Wednesday. So I would not go to pull my next set of letters or pull my up, because you can't do the next set of letters until you update the report. If you're using Credit Dyno, you just do the one-click import, and then it will automatically pull the updates. If you're using any other credit monitoring software, you have to log into the software, request the new report, and then go ahead and put it in the system. And then you can see your changes, right? So when you're saying you're not quite sure where to go, the first thing that we have to start with is we need to find out, when did you actually mail the document out? If you choose to use the date that you sent it out because you're not quite sure, like the date you generated the letters, that's fine. Good behavior is no earlier than 35 days. Great behavior or great rule of thumb is you don't want to send out a round of letters past a 60-day window. Okay, if you're outside of that 60-day window, you're going to have to start from the beginning. So if you go back to your guide, depending on which guide you're using, the frequency is going to be listed right to the far right as to what days you're supposed to be pulling and sending your next round of letters. But you're not sending your next round of letters what I like to call blindly. Blindly is when you're using the original credit report that you put in the system and you're just sending out rounds month after month. That's not what you do. You have to update your credit report every 35 to 40 days. Does that make sense? Did I lose?
Yes, okay. It makes sense. I couldn't get it off of mute, but yes, it makes sense. So I'm actually pulling up at home. I had a long day, but I'm pulling up at home, so I'm trying to hurry up, make it to my laptop, and once I guess once you get free, and you start asking questions, I'll be able to tell you exactly how long it's been.
No problem. And then we'll get it together. But the first thing that you have to, when you're saying you're kind of lost, the first thing you have to do is go back to the flow, because the flow is going to tell you the letter to pick, the attack name, the variation, and then all the way to the right, why does it sound like they fighting in here? Sorry. All the way to the right, you're going to go ahead and select, they're going to show you the days. So day 1, day 35, day 70, it counts it. So the flow that you have, no matter which one you picked, if it was the old sequence you're using or the new one, it's giving you a full 12 months of a tax. But you have to be pulling your credit report every single month to get to see what has changed and if anything shifted.
Okay.
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 Great questions. I love this. So it looks like Jason, you open the door. Okay, you open the door. All right, Miss Holmes. So I'll be here. So when hopefully you get to the laptop, so we can go ahead and dive in. Go ahead, Jason. What questions do you have before we get started?
I know you're gonna get to it.
What?
You were just saying pull your credit report, and I was perusing around the site and looking for that particular feature. You, like I said, you might show us.
So my question is your credit monitoring with Credit Dino?
It is.
Okay, so I'll show you. Yeah, we're gonna go through because we're gonna load someone in the software. So I'll get to it, and you'll be able to see how to do the one-click import.
Got you. Thanks.
For the free 99.
Right. I did it the first time. It's just the fact that, there's still a learning curve.
Absolutely. That's why we're here every Monday and Wednesday now. That, and I'm trying to get y'all new hair, okay? Y'all got to tell me which one y'all like so I can keep it. So we're here to help you out because, to be quite honest, I use the software every day. Like, I go into the software, I use it. If you're using it for yourself, you're only going every 35, every 40 days. So, and then if you're not like setting a calendar, best practice, y'all, especially if you have clients. So if you guys decide to do this as a family situation, best practice is to set a calendar alert to say, hey, go back in and pull your credit report. So that way you know that you're keeping the sequence going the way you need to. Once you guys start getting clientele, I have designated days that I do my disputes. It's normally during the week, but when my daughter is admin, especially since we have this new flow, my daughter does work with me. I'll do some on Saturdays with her so that if she has any questions, because again, my daughter works like once a month, twice a month. So it gives she has to be like, how do I do this again? How do I send this again? She has the attack flow is actually on my wall over there. So she knows exactly what letters to pull, but you have to sometimes retrain because she has to pull the report and then go ahead and select the generated letters. So we're going to dive in and do that together. All right. Great questions, guys. Thank you for just like jumping on in and everything. This is what I'm talking about. Lively bunch. I like it. All right. So for those of you guys that already have the software, you're just hanging tight here. There's nothing that you have to do. For those of you that are looking to get the software, we are going to go ahead and get started with loading my information in. My husband was watching the live videos and he mad that I ain't put David on these things. So just in case he decides to watch this video for proof that I updated it, I am using my last names, okay? So this software or this platform, when you're signing up, you're using it as the owner of the platform. So the email that you need to use, there's one email as the owner, and then you have to have a completely separate email as the user to the profile, okay? No, 81 at Gmail. So this is going to be my user. So the email that you put in this platform, along with the password, I was going to say passport. The password is what you're going to need every time you log into the database. The phone number that you're going to put in, if you guys are using this as your business, you can put your business phone number in because everything that you add on here is basically going to be inside of the system for you to leverage and use. Yes, the recording is available on the community. So if you guys go to the community, you can click on Dispute Panda Live. The onboarding is there. And we are also on YouTube. And my team will go ahead and drop the YouTube link so y'all can get into it. Okay. All right. As I said, my pleasure. I like to get free things. So I sign up for coupons. I need updates. I need special offers. I need to feel, okay, like y'all want me to be here. Okay. I don't know if you want me to be here if you don't give me coupons. So I do sign up for that. You do not have to. Okay. This is the service agreement explaining what is expected of you, what you should expect from Dispute Panda, and how the team is able to work together cohesively. Once you get into the platform, you will see this black bar up here. Basically, this is letting you know that a verification email was sent to your email address. I am not going to verify it. I will still be able to go ahead and move forward with the process, but you want to make sure that you're verifying this information within a 48-hour period, okay? With that being said, we are now on the dashboard, okay? The dashboard will have a list of your clients. It will tell you if there's any documentation missing. And if you guys have the pro version, it will give you the birthdays of your people. That's how my son says it, birthdays of the people that you have in your platform, okay? Another thing that I want to point out with the homepage before we go down to the left side panels is the Dispute Panda Pro. If you guys want to update for shareable forms, client portals, Zapier integration, and that just allows you to put, like, if you have an email sequence with the platform, you're able to leverage that. We also have a partnership with Kong Automation. So if you want to build funnels, email sequences, all of that, there is an option for you to partner with them, and they're $99 a month outside of this platform. So that is something that if you guys don't have an email sequence or a funnel builder, boom, bam, pow, y'all got it, okay? This credit dyno is important. The reason why I show this on every single call, not just because I got to, number one, I love this platform. So it does give you really good commission. So the basic commission is $8 per person, up to $22 for every client that signs up. So that's passive income for you. So at the start of every month, at the end of every month, like I'm telling y'all right now, I got my wonderful posting sequence for my Instagram, my LinkedIn, my Snapchat, my Snappy Chat, all of the posting to go ahead for the start of the new year, because everyone is always into having New Year's resolution. And I'm like, well, resolve yourself with getting this credit monitoring. Come on, honey. Okay. And this is a great way for you to make passive income just by having the link on your post. So you can put it on your post, you can put it in your bio, and make sure that your clients have it. I even put it in the comments. Okay. So that y'all know I need y'all to get this credit repair together. Let's look at your credit. So once you sign up here, you will automatically, this will go from become an affiliate to dashboard. It will say view your dashboard. And that way you can see the clients that have signed up. You can see the charges, like all of the good things there. All right. Any reporting information you will see down here. And then up here is where you can type in your client's information. As you can see, you are required to have at least 3 characters for the system to pull. You can also go here. If you have active client leads, it will show. If you have deactivated someone, okay, because they've graduated or they've left the program, you're able to see it under that profile. And if you are leaving one software to come over here, you can use the CSV file template. It will automatically pull your client file in. And again, if you're having an issue, you can go ahead and use loom.com to show them what's going on, or you can just email customer service to let them know, hey, y'all, hey, I need help today with my software. I'm not able to load it in, and the customer support team will be happy to go ahead and help you get those customers over, okay? And if you want to add a new client, the new client tab is right there, and you are ready to dip and do it, okay? Any letters that you send out will be accessible here for you. The letters that are available, the system can mail those letters out for you. So I like to explain this. I do not use the software for mailing because I am a control freak. I'm the oldest child, and my mama beat me for my other friends, okay? So because of that, I need to take the letters to the actual post office. I need to see the whites of the postman's eyes. That's just me. Now, my accountability partner, she uses the system. She mails her letters off through the system. It does make it a lot easier. I have used the mailing option when I've traveled because I am from Jamaica. And if I do go overseas and stuff like that, it's just easier for using a US postal code for it to go through. So if I'm going home to see family, or if my husband decides to do a random trip, I'm just saying this because he's probably going to watch this video, you know, random trip to, I don't know, anywhere, I want to be able to use the mailing software for it to go out. So If you are sending the letters out Monday through Friday, is the only time that it goes out, 12 p.m. PST time. Anytime thereafter, it goes out the following business days. You are able to go ahead and see a tracking code if you choose to send tracking mail. Is it better to mail through Panda or by the mail? It is completely up to your preference. For me, the geotag from it going to an actual post office, to me, is better. However, as I said, I have used the software before because I'm out dipping and doing and acting like an adult for a little bit. Okay. And it is beneficial to make sure that the letters go out. So I don't have to skip a beat. I don't have to worry about finding a printer if I'm out with family and all I have is my laptop. By the way, I take my laptop everywhere. Okay. So it is an easy and convenient process for you to use. So personally, I am because I'm going back into credit repair a little bit heavier than I was before, more than likely, once I get to a certain number of clients, I'm going to shift to the method of using the system to mail. But I had more personal clients for a little bit where I was just coaching them and getting them into the platform and the system and learning how to leverage all of this. So it was a little bit different. I think that once you get more than like 50 to 60 clients, it's going to be hard. If you guys are doing this like me, I'm a dualpreneur. So I'm an entrepreneur, but I also have a 9-to-5. And I am the 9-to-5 coach. So if I have like more than 30 active clients at any given time, I'm switching to the mail option, right? So there has been an influx. I want to say like the middle of the year, I was only using the mailing option because it was more conducive to make sure that my numbers are being met, that my clients' letters were going out. However, if you have a lower threshold or you have an in-house team, for me, my children, my husband, they'll help me send out letters. Like, just to be transparent, that pile that you guys see, where's it at? Right there. That pile that you see is only for clients, right? A pile of letters. I have a stack of letters that have to go out. So if I have an influx of I have to work more on any particular day. If it's more than 10 or 20 clients that I'm processing in that day, I'm just shooting for the mail option so that I know that it goes out. But if I have time, then yeah, if I have the team, the bandwidth, then I will go ahead and keep it in. But there's no difference between mailing or not. I do prefer the geotag of being here, but if I got an influx, honey, we gonna let the system do what it do. Great question, Miss Henry. Built-in communication for clients. So this is where you guys can email back and forth, okay? Any information that you want to let them know, you can tell them how to dip and do. And then this is the report tab. And I'm going to show you guys what the report tab does. And the reason why I like the report tab, okay, is because it lets me go ahead and tell people how much money I have got, how much debt I've gotten removed. It helps me know how much, and it also makes it a social media shareable post. So I get to brag about the wins. And I like to show this screenshot because oftentimes people are looking for the numbers. Did the score increase? Did the score decrease? If the score decreases, honey, I'm not upset if I'm still deleting big money. If I have a client, and I had a client that I just pulled 3 days ago, we were able to remove 45 accounts in the time that she's been with me. She's only been with me for about 3 months. And the amount of dollars that I've removed for that one client was over $250K worth of debt showing on her profile. So when we're talking about credit, the number is great. But I'm telling you, I have had clients who have had a 723 credit score. And let's be clear, if you have a 760 credit score, you're basically getting the same interest rate as an 800 score, right? But I have a client that I know without a shadow of a doubt, I've had her, she's had a 723 and she's been denied because of the information in the body of the credit report. So them numbers don't always get you where you need to go. So when you're having the conversation and you're looking at it, especially coming into the space, you're having a two-part conversation. The number is great, but the activity in the report is what's going to let funding, the banks, the auto loans, they're going to know, hey, this person has good behavior. So we see that they pay on time. We see that they keep their balances low. all of those things. Okay. So this is something that you can use to actually share on social media. And then I want to show you guys what it looks like once you click it. And this is also an option within each client. So you can show it on the business level, which is what this is when I'm on the screen, but you also have an option when you go the pro version to show it on the client's level. And if you have a logo, a website, a phone number, hey guys, if y'all don't have anything but like an email address, you can put your email address in there while you're building your phone number and be like, I'm taking 5 people to help fix their credit. You get what I'm saying? And if they sign up for Credit Dino, you're not paying for the round of attack, even if you go ahead and try and do a free promo for them to get their self together, right? And get started. So definitely think about those options, but that is what shows up in the pro. The subscription is also in a pro. It's the payment form, it's the plan. All of those things are available, and that's so that your clients can pay you. And you can have multiple platforms. Like I have a DIY platform. I have a DIY with partnership platform. So the DIY is like, it was $50 a month, but in totality, they were paying $69 for them to be able to meet with me once a month, and they can answer whatever question, and it was in a group setting. So I opened the Zoom, whoever was able to show up, they got they got the information that they need. If they don't show up, then someone was just getting personal coaching. But that was another way for me to not have to worry about what my clients are doing and how they're engaging, right? But they're still getting their letters out. There's a training, of course, you can get back to training and customer support. Now we're going to dive into some information in the balance tab. So in order for you to print letters, if you are not using Credit Dino, you need to have money in your balances. Okay. You also want to go ahead and look over this particular file. I am going to start with billing today, and then we're going to go down the left panel with all of the information. So if you want to go ahead and store your payment information, and this is prudent, I've seen sometimes, and I have heard people say that they take like the card for their sister or cousin and charge their card. This platform belongs to you. So the only person's credit card that should be in here is your credit card. So, or your debit card. So if you're doing it for family, you're going to collect the $17 from them, or whatever you're charging them monthly. You could say, I'm charging you $50 or $60 a month to repair your credit. And then you put that money in your account, and only your card should be stored in the platform. Okay. If you are, let me see where my, okay, there we go. If you are looking here, we do have a subscribe and save. So a lot of people, we notice, are coming to the platform, and while they're coming to the platform, they're only doing repair for themselves. So normally people were either loading $20 on, or they were loading $60 on. So if you do a subscribe and save, every 30 days you'll be billed the $20, but you'll get $30, or you can be billed $60 and get $90. So if you're leveraging the system to do the mail out for you, and you have Credit Dino, which gives you a free round of attack, all that money that's sitting there is literally just for your mailing option. So you'll have money and credits in there specifically to do mail. So you definitely want to check that out. If you have your aunt, your mom, your cousin, then it's better for you to just do a bulk purchase. So if you come over here, you can go ahead and tell the system how many credits you want to purchase and hit checkout, and it will go ahead and process that for you. Now, on these side tabs, you have the profile. This is the information that you embedded into the system to say, hey, y'all, hey, I'm here. You can put your photo in here. And if you need to change any information for your primary contact, you can do that here. The organization tab is for the company. So if you switch over from being a solo person, just repairing your own credit, to helping your community and becoming your mayor of credits, right, in your town, you can come in here and update this profile. If you're already a business, you drop your logo, your website, your email, and then you're able to drop your contract. Real quick before I keep going, does anyone need a sample simple contract? If you do, drop it in the chat so I can know to drop the contract in the chat. Okay, guys? But you're able to do this. And then if you switch to the pro, of course, once you activate the client, you would automatically send them the contract and they'll be able to sign. Okay. If you are like me and you have a niece or a daughter or a cousin that might be working your profile, you do not have to give them, thank you, David. You do not have to give them your username and profile. You can actually add them onto the platform with their own name, their own email, and then they will have the ability to go ahead and log in and help you with sending letters. Now, one of the things that I love about the safety and security is that when you upload your client's information, it's grayed out. So they can't see the driver's license, they can't see the social, they can't see anything until the document is printed. So if you are just hiring somebody just for the process of going in and doing the rounds for you, then this is an option that you can leverage, and you can have multiple team members. So you can have one person just generate the letters, and then you can have another person that's at the home base, like if you're traveling and stuff, to go ahead and print it out once you get a billion clients in tow. The affiliate link allows you to have what affiliate code you have for any credit monitoring software. You can have them all on, so your client has the ability to make their own selection if you have the portal on, and to store. Or you can turn off whichever ones you don't want and make sure that that client only has that one particular access portal for them to leverage, and you'd save the information here. The disputing is the addresses for the credit bureaus. If for some reason the addresses have changed or you need to update them, you can simply click on this little pen and paper and go ahead and change the address and save it. So this is the address that will be printed on the envelope. Normally, I do check it weekly, and I would put a message in the community if for some reason the addresses have changed. Bear in mind that the credit bureau does have anywhere between 7 to 8 addresses that they take dispute letters in from. So if it does change, if you guys are in the community, you'll have access to it. If not, you guys will just have to Google it to kind of see what's going on. The invoice will show you what your invoice is for the pro, any statements you have, or any invoices for your clients. The activity tab gives you the activities of what attacks have gone out, any mailings, and any credit from the Credit Dyno platform that your clients may have. It will have their name and then, of course, the status that's available. The integration, of course, is a pro feature where you can tell Zapier what to do. So if you have a lead magnet form, the client fills out the lead magnet form, it automatically puts them into Dispute Panda, so on and so forth. You have those options. And then, of course, the referral option is not available right now. But let's say you wanted to go ahead and let's say you're a mortgage broker or you're a realtor, and you know, wait, I'm learning credit, and my homegirl that does real estate in another state wants to learn too. You will get an affiliate link once it goes live, and then you can actually earn credits for them signing up under your referral link. So if you guys have not taken advantage of this, even though the option is not live now, don't sleep on it. Passive money is good. Okay. Passive money is great. So definitely sign up for that. So we've covered all of these tabs. We're about to jump into the client where we're going to load the client in. Do you guys have any questions on what we've already spoken about? I wanna run with you. Nope. No words. All right. Well, let's go now. So I'm gonna go ahead and load myself in the software. I do this spiel every time that I let you guys know it is complete. This information needs to be correct. This is the information that is going to go on the letters that is going to be mailed out for you or your client. Okay. If you have a senior, a junior, a fifth, you can choose to put the information in here. The only thing that are required are where you see the red asterisks. But I personally do put like the fifth, the third, the fourth, because I'm normally dealing with families on a whole. So if I'm dealing with all of them, I like to make sure that I know whose file I'm in, especially if we have Lee, and Lee, right? As far as the email address, remember I said it has to be a different email address than what you created the profile with if you're using this for yourself. And you're putting yourself in as a client. Again, you can put your phone number if you're using your cell, that's fine. What I want to point out is that you see how I have the address here and I have the suite number and information. That is the only thing that will go on the street address line. You will pick the city and state and they will go into their respective places. All right. And then you want to make sure you have the right birthday. Now, if you guys have the pro feature, you would click this invite client to, and that way your contract, all of the things will go out to the client for them to go ahead and create their own password and then gain access to the software. You would click save, and now you are on to the loading the client in phase. Now, before we get started, I want to show that the software is showing you the 2 spaces that are required and the other options that is optional, right? The attack option is grayed out because you're not able to go to the attack round until you have entered all of the required information in this screen. Now, if you guys are doing credit repair, I'm going to say this very important tip. If your client does not have their valid address on their ID, then you do not want to use their ID as their proof of address. The point of it is making sure that all names and all addresses match across the board. So that means if your client does not have a valid driver's license for their new address, you're going to pick something else on this list. Best practices, if you're using a proof of address, such as a utility bill, gas, water, cable, whatever, what I want you to be aware of is that for best practices, you want to get an updated bill every 90 days, okay? The social security card is optional. Again, if you're using a social security card as a proof of identity, then you're not going to add it again in that 3rd space. It's not needed. If you guys need this, this image, it is located in the how to add a client to Dispute Panda and receive a free attack in that profile. And we will also drop it in the chat so you guys have accessibility to it, okay? Now, Jason. Time to talk money. All right. So Jason's questions earlier for the people who are just coming into the room was, hey, how do I pull my credit report if I have Credit Dyno and I need to get my updated scores because it's been outside of the 35 days? Well, I'm here to help you. Let me help you now. Right down here, it says Dyno one-click import. Okay. So you would literally just go back into the platform under the documentation tab, and you don't have to plug anything information in there because you already have your username and password in. You would just click one-click import and it will automatically import the actual credit report for that's been updated. And that way you can know if there has been a change. If you don't click this one-click import, my love, you don't have any updated numbers. You're still looking at your old pieces of information. Does that make sense? Do you see it, Jason? Come on, somebody. Because I'll be talking sense now. I'll be talking sense. Just a little bit. Might be little coins, you know. But okay, so you should not have to update your IDs or any of those pieces of information. That should not be a necessity. However, I want to go ahead and show you how to update the information. So you're going to put it in. And if there's any whites, any spacing, the goal is to get all of your information on one piece of paper. Uno más, nothing else, okay? If you can get it on 2, great, but you're not wanting all this long piece of information, and you're not wanting to give the credit bureau more information than what they need, okay? They'll need to be in your business. So if you have a bill, and this is supposed to be your proof of address, you're going to crop all of that out. Look at it, look at it. You don't need to know my business. You don't need to know what my last bill was. You need to know my name, my address, and is this bill valid? That is all you're doing, okay? You're going to crop and save. And then if you have not used your social, I normally send a social security card. If you choose not to because you have filled the requirement, you can choose not to, but just for best practices, I do normally send it all out together. Once you have this done, you're going to scroll down here and you're going to select the credit monitoring software that you have. So before I continue, Ms. Holmes, are you still with us?
I'm here.
Hey, love, quick question. Are you with Credit Dino or another credit monitoring service?
Credit Dino.
Cool. So you would just come back here. If it's past that 35-day window, you're going to click the one-click import and Bob's your uncle. It's going to update your numbers and you'll be able to see, and I'm going to show you guys in a second, where up here it will convert and it will tell you the date of the updated credit report. So you need to do that before you can go and do another round of letters. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Awesome sauce. All right. I'm going to stop sharing my screen. Y'all know how this, ooh, you rude. Hold on a second. I'm going to stop sharing my screen. If you guys have questions, let me know. And then I think there's a message in the chat. If you guys, hold on. Give me 1 second, Coach Hightower. Let me see why my Zoom is not zooming. Okay, it's just not doing what it's supposed to do right now. Sugar pop. Let me go ahead and do Command Tab. Very difficult. Go back to home. All right, I'll definitely show you guys how to mail through the system. Give me 1 second. We got some hand raisers. I love that for us. Okay, so we're gonna go back to share screen. Stop sharing. Okay, Jason, you can go ahead and ask your question while I'm trying to get the computer to do what it's supposed to do. What question do you have, love?
So 2 questions. Now that I've like reloaded the latest report, of course I'm trying to see if it moved, if my scores didn't move a bunch or what was taken off, just trying to analyze what happened.
Okay.
And also I know that you said that we can go to that reports tab, but if I'm only like learning how to clean my own credit, and so therefore I have just the basic, I guess,
feature.
Feature. If it's just me, I don't have access to seeing reports. Is that correct?
Give me 1 second, guys. My computer is on the fritz. Give me 2 seconds. I'm going to jump back in and I can answer that question. Hold on 1 second. I'm going to be right back. This computer is, I guess it did an update on me, so it kicked me out. Thank you so much for your patience. Okay, so Jason's question before I left, thank you so much for letting me back in, David. Jason's question before I left was, how do you see the changes? Is that what your question is?
Yeah, how do you see the changes? And with the basic plan, can you access and utilize that report tab, I guess?
Okay, I'm going to show you guys in 1 second. Let's see if it'll let me all the way back in. Okay, we're just gonna have to go back in. Let me go this way. Thank you guys for your patience. All right, we doing a little something today. Okay, so we're gonna have to use my admin one. Let's see if it lets me in. Okay, all right, so we have that. And then I'm going to start sharing my screen. Boom. Let me know if you guys can see my screen now. Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool.
Yes, I can see it.
So thank you so much, darlings. Okay, so if you were to pull a new report, right? Under the updates tab, you should still see the updated information. Do you see an update tab after you pulled your report?
Checking now.
Mm-hmm. If you don't see it on the update, because normally sometimes these tabs won't open up, but you should be able to see it on the update tab, and you would also be able to see your new numbers here. So the question that I would have as we're kind of going through is, when you're saying the expectation or the experience of how do I know something happened, what exactly are you looking for? So then I can talk about what's on the report. Does that make sense?
Totally. So I click my update tab and it just says pending changes. You've made changes to the filters that haven't been saved. Are you
Correct.
sure you want to leave?
Right. So here's what you're wanting to do. If you've already done this portion, and guys, just hanging tight, I just want to answer this question, and then we are going to go through the process of uploading the file. But if you were to come to this and you've already saved something, you have to hit save filter first before it goes to the next section. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you want to say, if you've already done something on this screen, you want to hit save, and then you can go over to your updates. And it should show you quantifiably how many have been deleted, what the numbers are. Do you see that at all?
Okay, so I went back to the disputing page and I saved it. Now I'll hit updates and this just says enhance re-import summary. And so it doesn't give me an option. It's just the bear is holding something and it says download.
Oh, so it has to be on the pro. So you would, in your particular case, what you would have to do is look at your old numbers and then look at your new number. But wait, it should be there though, because this one that I'm using right now is not a pro option, or is it? Hang on one second, y'all. Let me switch, because I got a bunch of files now. I got a bunch of these accounts and whatnots. Okay, so hold on. Okay, so let's put in the credit file. Give me 1 second, guys. I just want to grab this username and password for my dummy client here.
It says upgrade to Panda Dispute.
In order for you to see it,
Mm-hmm.
hold on. Because I'm looking at another dummy file that I have. Like, I have a couple of platforms and some of them are pro and some of them aren't. So I want to make sure I get into the one that is not the pro. Okay, so you would have to go to the history tab. Thanks for that. I'm so sorry. Let me show you. So you would have to go to your history tab and go to your credit scores. And that's where your numbers would appear.
Okay.
So you can see what the changes are in the numbers. Okay, as far as the numbers goes. And that also goes with the report. So in essence, you would have to take time, read your report to kind of see what's going on. But if you're looking for a number change specifically, then you would have to go into the actual system. If you're looking, you can look under the history tab and see the number changes from when you first pulled your numbers to where you are now, if it has gone up or gone down. Now, with you not having the full report, you would have to, not having the report tab for it to auto do everything for you, you would have to look at your first credit report and then the second one for it to tell you what's been removed. Now, my question that I would have in this particular scenario is, when you were doing this before and you sent out the letters, did you get response that told you that items were removed or deleted?
Like response via snail mail?
Yeah, from any of the credit bureaus.
I did, but I never opened it up just because.
Oh, so you're gonna be your client. Go ahead, friend. He said, I got it and I never opened it. Let me stop sharing my screen. You're just making me work tonight. Okay, hold on. Let me move from this page and I'm gonna go to disputing and then share again. Thanks guys for hanging with me with this technical difficulties, but Max be macking out here in these streets, okay? So what I wanted to show you guys really quickly before we dive into proper etiquette of disputing your own credit profile, okay? Hang on one second. All right, so let me stop sharing big. All right. This is what pops up after you have downloaded your free report, your credit report into the software. This is the first thing that populates for you so that you're able to see that you get a free round of attack, and it tells you get it every 35 days, okay? Once you get that, you get this pop-up. Also, if you look over to the bottom left, that information is there as well. So any client that has free, it will show up and allow you to process seamlessly, okay? The credit report will be downloaded. The system will automatically select the auto errors or the things that are hurting your credit profile. So you don't have to worry about the, if you have any public records, which is judgments, liens, bankruptcies, right? You don't have to worry about that platform, and you don't have to worry about the accounts, because any negative trade lines that you have on here that's causing a late payment, charge off, collections, it's going to auto select for you. However, what you do have to do is the inquiries. Now, I have had class asked before, will the inquiries be there or not? Will it auto select the inquiries in the future? It's possible. With the algorithm and the AI learning new things, it is quite possible that soon the inquiries will be there, but it's not right now. So what I want you to focus on, best practices, if you guys are disputing the inquiries that are on file, one of the imperative things that you want to do is you want to make sure that none of these inquiries are attached to a live account. When I say live, I mean open and active. If the account is closed and it has negative history and you want to get it removed, fine, go ahead and dispute it, not a problem. But if the account is open and currently active like a credit card, you run the risk of getting that card closed by disputing that particular inquiry, right? I've had another person say, well, what if I had a Capital One card and then I reapplied for another Capital One card? If you can clearly identify the date, meaning the original card that you applied for was in February of 2020 or 2022, you just applied for a new card this month, it shows you the date of when it's being ran. That is completely okay if you're making the decision to go ahead and dispute that. But you want to make sure that there are no attachments to open and active accounts, because you run the risk of shutting that account down for your client, okay? Also, when you're searching, you want to go ahead and make sure that you're searching both sides of the slashes. So me being in credit repair, I know this is Cross River Bank, but if I type in CRB, I might not get anything, right? I might not get anything. It's not taking me to anything, any accounts that I can see. It's only showing me this. So I'm going to go and I'm going to search seed, and then I'm going to see what the account looks like. Is this an open account? Is this an active account? So on and so forth. Okay. So you want to select the inquiries there. Before I come back to you, Jason, Mr. Hightower, are you available? I'm so sorry. When I left the screen, it went out. Okay, it doesn't look like Mr. Hightower is here. All right. Yeah, it doesn't look like Mr. Hightower was here. I do apologize that I lost it. If any of you guys can put in the chat what Mr. Hightower asked, I'll still answer it. So if he comes back to watch the video, I'll be able to answer the question for you. So if anyone can grab his question and just replace it in the chat for me, that will be magical. And again, thank you so much for working through my technical difficulties here. Okay, Jason, what was your question? I saw you had your hand up. You on mute. Go ahead. Let me go ahead and ask you now. Go ahead.
Quick question. Instead of credit cards, when it comes to open accounts, like, so I'm in Turo and I buy multiple vehicles, some with my personal, some with a business. Speaking on personal side, and as far as controlling debt to income ratio, I was thinking and I've heard from certain experts that because you've already been funded the money and the account has basically been funded to whoever, and they said that it's okay it could be very much okay to take off an open account from an auto loan just because, hey, you've gotten the money, it's not a revolving line, blah blah blah.
Right. So that particular pro tip is specifically for credit cards. If you want to go ahead and dispute, to your point, when we're talking about funding to other areas, you can choose to go ahead and dispute because you've gotten the money, the bank's already sent it off, things of that nature. Just like when you can dispute open accounts, there are some people who have disputed open accounts to get a mortgage off so that they don't look like they have an open debt, like they've gone ahead and disputed it to get that debt off. And that way that debt is no longer in their equation, actually lowering their debt to income ratio. Now, if they went to go get another mortgage, however, that mortgage will still show up on the back end, but it would not show up if they're trying to get like a credit card and things of that nature because it's removed from the account. So the best practice is specifically for me. I don't do it for any file, but you are correct. You can go ahead and still dispute an inquiry for like an auto loan or something of that nature because you already have, they ain't gonna take the house from you and they're not gonna take the car, right? Like, exactly. Get into it. So great question. I like these questions today. I can come back more often. Okay. Ms. Holmes, what question do you have for me?
Okay, so I have my account pulled up in front of me now. And it said that the last time when I sent out, it was like 40 some days ago.
Okay.
So with it being 40 some days ago, what do I do now?
You have to pull your new report, my love.
And
you
I
can't
know you
do
just
anything until you get the report pulled. So you have to go to the document tab and you have to physically go back into the document tab. If you have Credit Dyno, you're just clicking the one-click import and then it's pulling your report. If you have another credit monitoring service, you have to log into them, get the updated report, and then bring it back here.
Okay, so I imported it, and do I have to go back in and do another attack, like do the disputing thing?
Yeah.
Okay.
So let me be clear. I want to make sure that I'm clear. When you're doing credit repair, it's not just a 1 month situation. That's why the guide is given to you guys for a full 6 months. For a full 12 months. It is quite plausible that you can get all of your negative items off or all of your delinquent stuff earlier than that 12-month window. But you're not going to, the first round is not going to be your icing on the cake. Does that make sense? So there's definite things that you guys have to do during the process. Jason, open your mail. Open your mail. Open the mail, Jason. Open the mail. Okay, you want to read the mail, Jason. It's telling you, I deleted. I also want to educate. There's a difference between removed and deleted. Removed means it's under investigation. I'm taking it out until we get a clarification. Deleted means bye-bye. We don't go together anymore, right? So you got to open the mail, open it up.
Yes.
And I want to be clear, as a business owner, if you guys don't open your mail as the person that's doing it for yourself, be aware. This is why I say to load yourself in the system. Be aware, Jason, you're going to have Mr. Andrew who's going to be calling you like, yeah, I done got a bunch of mail that it done came in. Did you send it to me? Did you upload it to me? Like, I don't even know if they're asking for something. You want to make sure that just like your behaviors are that way, understand the client's behaviors are that way as well. And they're also afraid. to open up and look at that documentation, right? They're afraid to open up and see what's going on because they don't know what that letter is going to say, and they may not know what to do next.
Correct.
Right? What else was I going to say? Okay, so Ms. Holmes, do you have another question, or did I answer your question for now? And you're going to pull back up. You're going to circle the block for me.
You answered my question. I'm actually doing it while I'm on here, so if I did have any questions, I'll let you know before you go.
Awesome sauce. All right, Chris, what you got for me today? Hey, love. How are you?
I'm doing good, doing good.
Good.
I kind of just wanted to have my rounds have came up for the 35-day mark. We're going like 38. And I noticed on the free round of attack, so I got 3 clients right now. I uploaded one
Mhm.
and he got the credit dyno, or we all have credit dyno.
Okay, cool,
So
cool.
the first one, or the recent one I just uploaded, since we uploaded with the credit dyno, I got the free credit.
Mhm.
The 2 previous ones that were in there passed the 35-day mark, and now I have 3 credits for what is it, the free tax credits, but without doing the one-click import. Does it automatically give it to you if they're what is it, without doing the one-click import after it reaches 30 days, or you have to go back and
You're supposed to go back in and update it. So if that's a
Mm.
glitch, don't tell nobody.
Okay,
You're supposed to get the free credit every time you do that one-click import.
the one-click import.
So if you
Okay.
only did it for one person and it was in that 35 or 38 day time frame, yeah, it's only supposed to go for each individual. So you'd have to log into each one of them and click the import, and you'll get those credits.
Okay. And then I guess I saw that you did something here as far as like the history um on the profile, and then you were able to go to credit reports and
Mhm.
then credit score. So as I'm
Mhm.
clicking on the credit score, it says it gives me the option to say add new credit score. Do I
Mhm.
have to update it manually every time that I have
It
a new credit score?
automatically updates when you bring in the import.
Okay, when I bring in the import, gotcha.
Mhm.
Okay. And I guess I just kind of want to, I don't want to get off subject too much, but I was looking at some of the attack flows,
Mhm.
and since my client has, roughly, I think more about 38 files that are negative on his credit report, I
Mhm.
was trying to figure out. I know you sent out the new attack flow,
Mhm.
but I was wondering, since he has so many items, over 10, inquiries that they all got just negative on his credit report, and then over 38 charge-offs. Um, which one would be suitable for something like that, as far
You're
as the
still following the flow. You're not making any changes. You're still making the selection because the letters are only going to generate. So there's some letters that will say we'll only do 9 accounts on this letter and 5 inquiries on that letter. If you have 10 inquiries, all it's doing is generating another letter with the other 5. Does that
Oh,
make
okay.
sense? So you're not having to pick something different. You're still following the flow. Just understand that you're going to get more letters that are going to be generated to go out in order to match what your client's needs are. So let's say you have me and I only have 5 negative items. You're really only going to have like maybe 5 or 6 letters, right? Especially if I have no inquiries. But if you got my husband, and I'm blaming him, he don't got that many inquiries, but he got 10 inquiries and 17 derogatory things, then there's going to be more letters generated to fill the quota of what that particular letter type will allow you to print. Does that make
Gotcha,
sense?
gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like when I click on the start new round, it has the nerve attack, the pinwheel attack, the Venture
Mhm.
Fury. Like for instance, the pinwheel attack right now is showing it letter up to 7 negative items and then up to 10, and then the nerve attack is showing attacks all items on credit report. Would that be
Right.
more? Yeah, I would click the attack all
So,
items on credit
so my
report.
question that I have for you is, are you following the guide or are you creating your own guide? That is the question.
I want to follow the flow. As
So if
far as
you're following the
going.
flow, you're not looking at those letters. You're coming onto this flow and you're picking the punch of fury. Or if you're using the old flow, you're picking the designated letters that are there. So the only time you're doing what you're asking is if you're creating your own flow in order for you to then track to see, okay, I picked the nerve attack. This client had charge offs and this amount of inquiries. The nerve attack came back 35 days later, and I was able to remove 2 inquiries and 2 charge offs. If you're creating your own sequence or you're trying to formulate what's going to work best because you're doing your own testing style, then you would have to track while you're doing that. If you're following the flow, then you're just following the flow. The letters are going to be generated according to what each letter says is the max amount that it can pull. So like, for instance, if you're doing the paralyzed touch attack, it gives you all the letters. So some of those letters I think is individual or something like that. So you would have to make a decision. Are you creating your own flow or are you using the flow that has been provided?
Gotcha. So let's just say I want to go with that. I guess the attack blue
Mm-hmm.
on trying to just go with that. What would be my first option as far as how would I pick that on the start new round?
So I get, okay, so you're saying you're doing attack blue
Yes.
and you're at what? So you already did month 1, is that correct?
No, it's a new client. I already uploaded them. I got them going.
So if you're
Uh,
doing attack blue, what does it say? So do you have the
then,
old file?
um,
You have the old flow, correct?
yes, I have the old flow.
Okay, so you're gonna go to the old flow and you're starting at month 1. Guys, I want you guys to understand the system is simple. If you're
Mhm.
picking a flow, red, blue, white, or black, you're picking the flow and you're picking the attack variations that are listed in that attack round. So you're not curating anything. If it's a brand new client and you're picking blue, your first round of attack is nerve, supreme boosted, is going out certified male. It is going in color and it's single-sided. That is it. That is all. You're following the flow. So you're not
Gotcha.
having to make outside decisions because it's working everything out for you in the software. Does that make
Makes
sense?
sense. It does.
Now, if you're choosing the new flow, then you're doing the punch of fury. Now, what I will tell you to do, if you're choosing the new flow, if you're choosing one of the old flows, you can still do the old flow, like I said, the nerve attack flow that was showing up here. You can still do Supreme Boosted and you can still choose the Lexus, Nexus, and Anubis because you have money in your bucket. Does that make sense? You can still do the secondary people. So I don't want you to overthink the process. If you're using the old flow, you're starting, if it's a new person, you're starting at month 1. And then you're going to follow the month through. Once you get a little bit more vested, or you have you want to go ahead and venture out and see what will happen, you can then go ahead and you could probably run a sale or ask one of your friends, hey, I want to try a new flow and I want to know if I can do it on you. And that can be like a test client for you to track everything. But
I
if you're,
always,
but that's an option. What were you gonna say?
I was gonna say, don't try to reinvent the wheel. I just try to figure out how it works. So
How it works. Yeah.
I'm gonna keep going with the flow.
Yeah, just keep going with the flow. Because I've had a lot of people come here like, what do I do if they don't? Oh, I think I read the question. The question that the gentleman has, I believe it was something like, what do I do if the file comes, I get the letters back and they don't answer? I will show you guys the stall letter that you guys can leverage. I do a different method. I send out a different letter to begin with. So I very rarely get a stall attack because of the letter that I send out. But I wanted to answer, 1 second, Miss Holmes. I'm going to answer, I think it's Femmed in the chat. Do we get to charge our clients whatever monthly amount we want to? Yes, it's your business. You can charge whatever you like, unless your state has different guidelines and rules. From what I know, I've lived in the state of Florida and I've lived in Texas and I've lived in New York and done the business. I've never had someone else dictate to me what my prices are. What I would say to you is, when you're looking at your price point, take into consideration mail and like for envelopes, paper, ink. If you guys are using the platform, understand that the cost is going to be a little bit different. And I'm going to show you guys, because someone was asking, how can they view the the mail option, I'm going to show you guys the price is a little bit different within the software, because again, this is a convenience fee. So understand it's convenient. It's going out for you. You're good to go. The next question is, do you recommend to do 3 or 4 disputes each round? If you're talking about the inquiries, which is what I think, because I look at the time when it came in. If you're talking about the inquiries, guys, the inquiries, you can click all of them that apply. Again, the letters are going to segment them out accordingly. If your client has a plethora, I'm talking about, I had one client that had 200 inquiries. You want to go ahead and make sure that you're not using that many, because that's an abundance. I cut it off at 10 is my magic number that I will select at any given time. I'm not understanding the question. So can you come off of mute for me, Fem? So that we can have a quick dialogue, so I can make sure I'm answering your question correctly. Because systemically, the disputes are being picked for you. The accounts that you have are automatically selected. So if you're looking at the screen right now, the system already selected 21. Are you off mute for me? Hello? I can't hear you. Can you guys hear them? No? All right. So you don't have a cap on the amount of accounts that you're selecting, and you're only sending 1 round of disputes every 35 days. Are you back with me? Hello? Okay. So I hope that answered the question. If that did not, definitely put it in the chat, but you don't have to limit your disputes, because the system is going to say, as I stated with the inquiries, it's going to segment out for the accounts as well. So if there's a cap on any of the letters, if the letter says it only does 5 accounts per letter and your client has 21 different accounts that we're disputing, then please understand that the system is going to separate those accounts out per letter so that it does not come as a frivolous dispute when you're sending it off to the credit bureau. Let me know if that answered your question. I was told that it is, if it's more than 5, that the credit bureau may call. That is correct. That is if you're putting more than 5 in one particular letter. That was a past trend. That's not now. I've used before this software, the software that I use generated 15 different accounts on one letter, and each of them, it was a Metro 2 coding, so each of them had the specific code to dispute them, and I never had a frivolous kickback. You are right. It's all right, my love. Listen, you talking. You talking in this chat. So yeah, you're good to go there. So you don't have to worry about that, especially because this software is using Metro 2 and it is using some factual disputing. You don't necessarily have to worry about that, because again, you're not getting 500 accounts on one letter. They are capped and they do generate multiple letters for you to send off. Okay. Ms. Holmes, what's your question?
Okay, so I think this will be my last question, and I think I have it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so how do you do the free attack? I don't know how you use it. I do see one down there, but I don't know how to use it.
You're not using it yet because you haven't even gotten to the attack yet, my love. Have you already clicked the accounts that you want to dispute?
Yes.
So, and you hit the save?
Yes.
Okay, so hang tight, because we're not there yet. We're going to get there in a second. All right?
Gotcha.
Oh, she lightning over here, y'all. She ready. She like, how do I use this? I want to send out these letters. I love it. Okay. So I wanted to go ahead and point out another feature before we move forward, because I do know we have different people in the room. And I wanted to talk about, again, some added features that I saw and that I personally love with Credit Dino. So if you click this wonderful I option, it will open up a wonderful detailed account information. Here's why this is important, y'all. Because if you're looking at it for yourself, Jason and Miss Holmes, right? You're able to look at the profile and you can see if the account is charged off, in collection, the status of the account, and you can see the payment history. So if you're looking and you're having a conversation, understand that the FICO score is broken down into 5 components. The 2 heaviest weighted components are your payment history, and the other one is your utilization. So if you're looking at someone's payment history that has an 86%, you know that one of the areas that they need to work on is making their payments on time, because they're not getting their full 192 points. And when you add up all 5 of the components for the FICO score, that gives you actually 850 score, right? So if you're leaving points on the table because you're not paying on time, the conversation we need to have is set up auto payments. If we're talking about a credit card, pay your we're going to move to the next one, which is your account health. The account health tells you what the credit limit is, and it also tells you what the balance is. So if you're looking at a profile, or you're looking at your account and your account balance is higher than your limit, that means you're using more credit than what is available. Understand that for you to be in the 700 club, your utilization needs to be at 15%. I'm not telling you not to use the card. I want y'all to hear me. I'm telling you that you want to make sure that the date that they're going to go tattletale on you, you have paid your balance down to below that particular threshold. So if you have one credit card, that credit card is $300, your statement closes on the 17th, the bill, or your statement closes on the 21st, your bill is due on the 17th. That means that you're going to pay your regular due date on the 17th, but 2 days before the 21st, or if you're like me, if you're already paying on the due date on the 17th, I would say, okay, it's a $300 card. On the 17th, I'm going to drop the whole $300. I'm not using that card again until 2 days after the statement date has closed. Once I go ahead and use that, once I go ahead and make that payment, they've now already reported my balance. It shows that I have a $300 limit and I'm using 0. So guess what? In the utilization portion, which is 165 points roughly, I'm getting that full 165 points because according to my statement date of when they run and tell on me, I have literally used none of my $300, right? So that's the conversation that you want to have. If your client is over the limit, if you're over the limit, then what we need to work on is getting you under the limit, because you're not getting any of the points if you're using more than what has been gifted to you. All right. Another feature that I want to point out is if you are a person that has already been more seasoned, you know how to dip and do in these streets, and you want to write your own flow, like I have a 1099 letter that says, hey, can you tell me what was the tax deduction, because I may not have gotten it. And this way I can also know if they can still collect on the debt or if they cannot collect on the debt, and have a real life conversation. You can go ahead and put your verbiage in here. You can save the template and you also can use it. And that way, all of the letters for the rounds that you automatically pick will be sorted for the other accounts, but it will only the 1099 letter be pulled for this one particular creditor. If you're like, nah, I don't need to do that letter right now, you just click remove, and then you are literally good to go. All right. After you've done all of that, you want to hit save filter, and now it takes you to the attack. So Ms. Holmes, spotlight on you. I got a question. You're needing to pull your next round of attacks. My question that I have is, what flow are you using, and what attack does your flow tell you you're supposed to pick next?
Okay, so there was another thing I'm not understanding, because I did choose to try to, like you said, get your own flow. I didn't choose one just yet because I wanted to do the old flow with the red attack, but I mean, I didn't know how to get to that one. The only one I see is this nerve attack, pinwheel attack, puncher fury, round kick. So I'm like, I just stopped.
Okay, so 1 second. You have to have the guide up if you're following the flow, because remember, when you're going into the system is only giving you an option to pick the flow. You have to have your guide with you so you know what's the next one that you're picking. So if you're saying you're doing the red flow, where's your guide?
I got to pull it up.
You have to have your guide with you. So that way you're not freestyling and just picking something and don't know if it applies. Right. You want to go ahead. So
I know.
Go ahead.
But the last time when I did the first time, I actually watched the training videos as I did it.
Okay,
So I just didn't go in. I don't want you to think I'm just choosing anything because I did watch the videos as I did it. That's how I made
got
it
it.
as far as I did.
Get it,
But
girl. So
I
you watched the
forgot.
training? That's what I'm hearing.
Yeah, yeah. I went through the training videos and I watched them. But it's been a minute since I did it, so it's like I don't remember anything, to be honest, because
That's
it's
fine.
been
As
over
long
40
as you
days.
have the guide, you're going to go back to your guide. So if you're using the red flow, which again, I still use the red flow. I'm gonna tell y'all right now, I still use the red flow. You want to make sure you print out that flow so that when you go back on day 35, day 36, day 71, day 106, you know the next letter you're picking in the sequence. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah. So in this case, if this is month 2 for you, you're picking the round kick premium, it's first class, and it's double-sided.
Okay. Hold on.
But you have to make sure you print your guide out. So that's going to be, if you guys take nothing away, then I'm hilarious. Okay. The next thing I need you guys to take away is that you have to print out your guide and work the flow that is in your guide. All right.
Okay.
So yeah, so for the people that are on now, we're going to be using the Punch of Fury Supreme Boosted for month 1. We are going to be, if you guys have the pro option, you are going to select the letters to go to the creditors. That is another perk of the pro with the Dispute Panda, the pro Dispute Panda, as well as the credit dyno. And then you're also picking the static letters for the credit of the third party creditors that are there. If this is month 1, you are choosing handwritten. If this is month 2 for you, you are not choosing handwritten. Okay. The question that's in the chat is, so you should keep your balances under 15%. Then what happens when you are under 30% balance? Are you using up some of your gifted amount? So I want to clarify. I have a credit card. My husband and I both use my Amex card. We use our Amex card for everything. If I'm buying a flight, my Amex card pays my water bill, my light bill, all of the things. Okay. Every single month, I am almost to the max of that particular card because all of my bills, including our rent, goes on that one card. However, by the statement date, we pay it down below the 15% because our goal is to keep our numbers in the 700s. If you're under 7%, you're in the 800 club. So if you're using 30%, more than likely you're trending in the 600 club if every time your statement closes, your overall balance. So remember, it's the balance of the totality of the accounts you have. So let's say we have one card and that one card may have $30,000, but we're only using 200 at the end of the statement. But another card we have a $2,000 balance, which a $2,000 limit, and we've maxed that particular card out because we're flying or whatever the case may be. They're averaging the information between both of your balances, not just one card. So is it bad that you might be using more of one card? It can be, but if you have multiple accounts and your overall balances are under that 15% threshold, then you're rocking in that 700 club. Okay, so if your closing statement and your overall balances have you at 30%, then you're kind of in the 600 range, right? If you're using 45-50%, the higher you go on your utilization is the lower you're going to get in that particular arena. So think of it as 100%, which means all that money is available. You're getting $165. And then as you then use more and more, I'm taking some of that back from your balance to your FICO score number. So I hope that made sense as an analogy to leverage. Chris, what question you have, my love?
No, I guess touch back more on those goodwill letters. You said you would send out some of those to begin your round of attack.
I only send out goodwill letters if I am doing the process of sending a letter to the CEO. If I'm letting the system generate the late payment letter for me, I'm not sending out the goodwill letter.
Gotcha.
Yep. Great question. All right. So this attack, I said it's a Punch of Fury, Supreme Boosted. Y'all on 42. Okay, my mind don't be minded. Okay, don't be minded. So I'm gonna do the handwritten. If you guys have the pro, you generate the creditor letters. Again, the pro creditor letters allow it to be more aggressive, and understand that the creditors have to respond to you. The credit bureau can turn around and say we verified, and all they did was check their database and they didn't go anywhere else. And also, I want to point out that a lot of these third-party companies are now owned by the creditors. So they used to be a separate and apart entity, but now that I own Jason has to go on every platform and be like, Raquel's the best thing ever. I am, by the way, and so are you. But because of the fact that that's there, you have to understand that your attack method has to be a little bit different. So in this particular case, we're going to hit, I do not have the pro, so I'm showing you guys as just a standard feature. I would go ahead and hit handwritten. I would click the Supreme Boosted, and then I would hit start round. And then once I do that, I'm going to type in confirm. That confirm is what pulls the attack and generates the letter. And then this free round of attack will be removed. Okay. So that's how, Ms. Holmes, that's how you go about getting that free attack. It's in the software. How you use it is by selecting the letter and telling the letter that you want to confirm. Now you can download the letter, or you can select mail out. And the mail out option, you'll be able to select. Remember, it's first class. This round of letter is not double-sided, it's single-sided. So you see how the pricing went up. It went from $16 over to $21.43. If I said, you know what, I want, and I've had people come on the call and say, I want everything certified because I want to know, I want to track that they got it. Cool, boo. If you want a system to certify it for you, it's $70.95. Okay. You don't have to do any color in this round, so you're leaving that here. You would click pay in mail. You would type in confirm again, and then you're able to go ahead and have the system mail it out for you. If you're not utilizing the system, you would just click download all, and you'd be good to go. So my question, Jason, I'm picking on Jason today. Did you, you did your attack round just now, right? Yeah. And when you click on history,
let me answer the first one, right? Your clarification.
Well, no, just now, because we're so you telling me I'm in here, we talking, we vibing, and you ain't send off your next round of letters? Like,
because I didn't start with Fury. I started
okay.
I
So
started
what
off
did
with
you
like
do?
a pinwheel, the pinwheel roundhouse.
Okay.
Let me verify
So
that.
did you do the red? Okay, so let's go back to your history tab and tell me, under the history tab, it'll tell you the attack that you sent out the last time. So what's the name of the attack you sent out the last time?
Okay, right here. Tell me my attack.
Yeah, come on, somebody. What the attack look like?
So it says the Pinwheel Supreme Boosted strategy.
Okay, so you did Pinwheel Supreme Boosted. Let me see. The Pinwheel Supreme Boosted is only on the red flow. So if you're continuing with the red flow, two things I want you to do. If you don't already have this guide because it's not available anymore, I want you to screenshot this so that you know exactly what you're going to be doing moving forward. Screenshot this, keep it.
Here's the thing, like I'm trying to drink the Kool-Aid that you stirring up, and you just like, yo, the one that we have is a lot more efficient. It might put you back a month, but we saying, you know,
okay,
right
so then I'm still confused. I'm still confuzzled. Okay, like Snoop Dogg.
I just need that push. Like, you want? Should I? Like,
I need you to push the button. Push the button.
Listen, I'm ready to do the one that you guys are recommending.
Okay, so do the Punch of Fury Supreme Boosted.
Punch of Fury Supreme Boosted.
You're going to select handwritten in the top, and then you're going to hit confirm.
Punch of Fury Supreme Boosted, hit confirm. What you mean? It says start round.
Yeah. That's what I mean. That's what you know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about.
Okay. love the patois. Love the patois. Type confirm.
Yep. Yeah. Type the confirm in there.
And I probably need to add some extra money, but whatever. I think my card will do the rest.
I don't think you have to worry about adding money because remember, if you use Credit Dino,
True.
it's a free round of attack.
True.
Now, if you have money in your bucket, this is what you're going to do next. So after you've done that, you're going to come back here and you're going to go click on static letters. You're going to click on handwritten at the top. And then I like to scroll down to the bottom because this computer likes to jump and be disrespectful. So if you scroll all the way down to the bottom, you're going to click on Factor Trust, Microbuild, DataX, Clarity, Credco, ARC, LCI, Innovis, and LexisNexis. And you're going to hit start. As long as you have money in your bucket, these secondary bureaus are a free option for you to dispute with.
Okay. What was the first thing that you click? You hit start round again, and then that
Yep, you
popped up,
start new round.
and just
You're
go
going to go
back to
static
static
letters.
letters and start from the bottom and basically go up
Hit
to next.
handwritten first. Hit handwritten first because I'll be
Oh.
forgetting. Okay, because I'm a human and I'm 42. Okay,
No, I feel you. We got
and
you.
then scroll all the way down to the bottom, and then it'll auto cut it off because it knows that you're selecting the secondary bureau. So you can literally select all of the options that are here. Now, if you have already done this, guys, let's say this is your second round of attack that you're doing. So you're doing the actual second phase. If you have gotten a response back from any of these companies that say, we don't have a file for you, or there's nothing here, then you just don't select that particular third-party company. So if you have no account with LCI, like I have no profile with LCI. So if you don't have a profile with LCI or a client doesn't have a profile with ARS and they already got that information back, you just don't click it. That's it. You click everything else that applies.
Let me say this. Before I went in there, was doing my due diligence of making sure I started my second round. I just want to say this. I hadn't at that point clicked my did I need to go in and click anything specifically?
What do you mean?
Well, I just looked at my profile and I was just like, and I went into the disputing part, it says, you can click on inquiries or not. Like I didn't need to touch any of that. It was just gonna do it anyway.
So the only thing that it's not going to do on its own is any inquiries. So if you did not select any inquiries this round, all that means is when you go to pull no inquiry request is going to be sent out for this round. When you come in the next round, you can then select the inquiries accordingly.
Okay.
No big deal at all. But you would be able to do the static letters. You have your attack. So if you are doing this for yourself, guys, you're going to click download all. You're going to print it out. You're going to go ahead and pay your child $3 because that's what you're paying them because they done got on your nerves and they're not getting that $10 no more. And they go ahead and stuff and mail the letters for you, right? Or you can have the system mail it for you. Now, if you are saying, I don't have the updates because this is the free version, which I totally understand, you can click on your score. And then what you would do is do a calculator. So you're only adding in new scores if you physically used a different platform or if the person did a mid pull. And not, again, just to be transparent, if you're using Credit Dino, it doesn't update the numbers until the 35th day. So it doesn't matter if you come back in here and do one click import every single day. It's not going to update your information until the 35th day. Point blank period. You're not going to get a free nothing at all. So your numbers will be here. What you can do is you can take away the numbers from your original pull from what you had when you just updated it today. And that way you can see if there was an increase or a decrease. Now, if you're wanting to know more on the account level, what you would have to do in that particular case is go through and you would look at your credit, like you'd have to log into Credit Dino and basically look at your old report and your new report to see what accounts have been removed or deleted. Because in this particular case, you don't have the report tab that will auto do it for you. Okay. Other than that, do we have any questions, concerns, or Ms. Holmes, how you doing over there? How you doing?
I'm hoping I haven't missed nothing up. I did see what round I used, so I just went back and went to the next one.
Okay.
But
I just really hope I didn't miss anything though. I'm not sure. I'm not feeling confident at all.
Well, let's talk about it. Why aren't you feeling confident being in the room? Let's talk about it. What's going on?
I'm trying to see. I'm trying to go back to it now. I don't know. So I did the attack, and the first one I did was the nerve attack,
Okay.
and I just went to the premium. I went to the second with the premium. So I
the
mean,
second one is the round kick premium. So you're saying that's what you selected. Round
right.
kick premium. Okay. So before we get there, because you're at the attack, my question is, under the dispute feature, did you select anything for inquiry or did you leave it as is?
No, I did select the inquiries.
Okay.
There's not that many inquiries.
No problem.
Maybe
Awesome.
6.
So then you hit save filter and then you were able to get to the attack, because I want to make sure that if you would have messed something up, you can't get to the attack section without hitting the save filter. So you've already done the attack, and now it should say, instead of just attack 1, it should say attack 2.
Right.
Correct?
And right.
And then did you go back in and do the static letters like we just talked about?
No, because after, like, when you said static letters, I had already sent it off, and
You
that's
can't do
the
it
thing.
together. So I don't want to confuse.
Okay.
You can't do it together. So you have to do your attack and then you come back to start round and then you hit static letters.
Okay, and then go to handwritten.
Go handwritten, scroll all the way down to the bottom, because this has just been easier for me. And then you click all of those boxes. And as long as you have money in your bucket, the static letters will print. So you didn't miss anything. You have to do your attack first, and then after you seal the deal with the attack, you can then go in and do the static letters after.
Okay, so
even though go ahead, I'm sorry.
I'm under the, hold on. I clicked on the static letters, and I clicked on handwritten documents. Okay, now it popped up. At first it didn't pop up, but it's up now. So I need to select everything that's under.
Everything under LexisNexis is what you're selecting.
Okay. Well,
okay.
I feel better now, because that's what I thought. I thought it was too late for me to select it.
It's one, then you come back in and you do the other. Now, if you had the pro feature, the only thing that would be different is if you had pro and you're still doing the red flow, you would come in and do the round kick. You would select handwritten. You'd select the generate the creditor letters, and then you would select the premium, and then that round would go. Right? That's literally the only difference between the pro and the non one. You can choose to do handwritten whenever you want to in that old flow. You don't have to choose handwritten at all. That was just an additive feature that the system gave us.
Okay. Okay, I feel a lot better now. So
that's what I'm here for, girl. I'm here to make you feel a little better now. Make you a little sunshine. Okay. So yeah, good job. So remember, you're going to make sure that you print out your flow for the red attack. On that red attack flow, what you want to make sure that you're doing is paying attention. The frequency date, guys, is on the right-hand side. So when you're saying, what do I do next? The very next, let me be clear. You cannot do a round of attack after that 35-day window without going back to the documents tab and pulling a new credit report. So the first thing that you're always going to do, whether it's day 35 or day 42, you're going to come back into the software and you're going to update your credit report under the document tab, and then the dispute tab will open, and then you can go to the attack. So it's one, then the other, then the other. Do we have any other questions, concerns, comments, pictures y'all want to share? Ooh,
I do.
What's your question?
Quickly, I'll be quick. Is it me, or is it everyone else kind of noticing that TransUnion doesn't seem to respond? Or is that's I don't know, I've been hearing things from different people that TransUnion has like kind of changed up some stuff, and they haven't been wanting people, like, it's been difficult to get stuff off of there.
Difficult to get stuff off. I don't feel like it's been difficult to get stuff off. I do feel like out of all of the credit bureaus, in my humble opinion, I feel like they are the ones that are they quick to stall, honey. That's why I created with my method. I do it a little bit different where I send them notice to let them know that we're doing stuff. Because they like to go ahead and send stall information. I don't like to play with them on that. Okay. But I have not, to me, I think the most aggressive one is Equifax, but they do change from space to space. But with you being in your first month and you're at the top, I'm letting you know right now, don't get worried about the number in this space. Remember the habits that you have to have. I like to explain that credit repair and the art of credit is a dance. We are partners. So one part of it is behavior. The other part of it is I'm writing letters to go ahead and get erroneous, outdated things off of the report, right? Oh, see, Miss Henry said Equifax. I'm telling you, Equifax be trying to play with me, okay? But it's a dance that you're pulling. So if you're paying on time, if you're keeping your balances low for the things that you have control about, I feel like credit repair is very much control your controllables, right? If you keep your balances reasonable, if you are not closing accounts that you paid off, so your age is good, right? And really the golden number for age is 7 or above, right? For your age on your profile. Are you not asking for a lot of credit? Do you have a credit mix? Do you have installments and do you have revolving, right? As long as you're touching all of those points, then it's going to be a partnership and you're going to look presentable for other people. Understand that if you have, I've gotten people in homes with a 550 credit score. Gotten them in homes, no issues, no problems, because they had no late payments, they had no collections, they just did not have a robust file. Now, once they got the mortgage, right, then we had to turn around and in the process, I'm like, okay, friend, you got the house. I need you to get the credit card. I need, we need to start building you so that in a year you can refinance and get a better rate. Right. So there are real options out there to help and support. But yeah, Equifax has been the bane of my existence and sometimes Experian. The only thing that I have a problem with when it comes to TransUnion is I feel like they like to stall and I like to beat them up. That's it.
You're a bureau, a bureau bully. That's what I wanted to say.
They be bullying me, so I'm a bully them back.
Get them back.
I'm going to be off from my 9 to 5 for like 7 days. So I'm going to be taking the time to file CFPB complaints for a lot of my clients when it comes to the data breach, because the data breach really happened and it affected some of my clients. Oh, Miss Henry, hold on, girl. Let me go ahead and show you what you're going to do when it comes to that stall letter, friend. Hold on now. Thanks for reminding me, because I told you I'm 42. Okay. Don't let these young teens fool you now. So you're going to come back here to the attack. You're going to, again, this is after you pull around or if you've already gotten the static letter. So if, let's say, you got the stall letter that says, we think that you're using a third-party company, blah, 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 blah. You're going to come here. You're going to do start new round. You're going to go to static letters. You're going to scroll to where it says stall, and you're going to click the option. It's going to ask you some questions. What date did you originally send the dispute? Now, if you have the pro version, you're going to add here the file for the original letters that you sent. And then you're going to hit start round and you're going to send the packet off. If you do not have the pro version, you're going to get the stall letter with the disputes, and then you're going to print out your original round and you're going to send that off to the credit bureau. That is how you handle stalls. Oh, Hunty side. Bye, Miss Holmes. Have a great one. Happy holidays. Merry Christmas. Christmas, as my son say, Merry Christmas. So Miss Henry, that is how you would handle stalls. Do you have any other questions on that? Thank you. Not all right. Well, it looks like I done did my job today. I done earned my keep. Dominique won't get rid of me. Dispute Panda gonna like me. Okay, I love that. Anyone else has any questions? You coming off of mute, Miss Henry? How can I help?
Yes. Like you were saying about the complaints that you're gonna do for their clients, how exactly would I do that if I'm trying to repair my own credit. How would I go about doing that?
So that is outside of the scope of this, but I did drop my calendar. So if you want to book a call with me, I'd be happy to go ahead and walk you through how you'd actually do it.
Okay.
Because first you have to verify that you were a part of the breach before you can go ahead and actually do the dispute.
Okay.
Great question. So I did drop my info in the chat. Does anyone else have any questions? And I'm so sorry I've been calling you a miss the whole time because I don't renamed you. Hey, sir. How you doing? Any other questions? Are all hearts and minds clear? Y'all gonna miss me on Monday because I'm gonna miss harassing y'all on Monday. I'm gonna be harassing my family on Monday, and then we're gonna pull back up on Wednesday. Any questions? Comments, concerns? All right. So I'm going to leave you with this last thing. If you're not in the community, get in the community. Get into it. Okay. Don't forget
Facebook community.
We don't have no Facebook community. Don't you do that. Don't you do that. David, can you drop the link? Because he about to give me a heart attack on this good day that the Lord has made.
Rejoice.
Ooh, you can tell I went to church, right? In real life. Okay, so this is the community. If you are a pro member, you have access to the pro. If not, you have access to the standard community. You can ask questions, get support, get contacts, and all of that information is in the chat. If you guys, oh wait, this was going to show you. Hold on. This is what it looked like. Hold on. When you click that link, you're going to go to the third option that says join the Dispute Panda community, and you are able to go ahead and sign up. You can log in with your Dispute Panda information as well, but you need to be in here. So we are not on Facebook because Facebook can choose to take content down. It can choose to delete stuff. So the Dispute Panda team said, heck no, we won't go and put this out here. So I am giving y'all all the sauce to be what a beast in these Now, Miss Clay, I need Miss Clay to stop playing because she know I say this every call, okay? And she don't even come off of mute and say it with me. I be feeling the type of ways, Miss Clay. I be feeling the type of ways. But no, you guys will have the opportunity to get your questions answered. The support team is also on the flow here. I do chime in sometimes, and please forgive me. I promise I'm going to do more of the. Oh, I'm up to 15. Look at me being big, being special. But you're able to like chat, get answers, get support. Sometimes you may that something might be wrong with the system, or there's an error, or there's an update, and the community will have the answer for you. So if you are not in here like swimwear, get in here. Get in here.
See, I be in here like swimwear. I be sitting back taking my notes and listening. I be, man.
Miss Clay be doing me wrong, y'all. She come in here, she don't be saying hi, she don't bring me no chocolate. I'm the Santa, okay? She don't bring me no chocolate or nothing. All right, but other than that, we have literally hit everything. I want you guys to have an amazing Christmas. If you do have questions, concerns, comments, or want to book a call with me outside of to dive in, if you have additional questions outside of just the onboarding call, it is my pleasure to be of service with you. There my candy go. Come on, Miss Clay. That's what I'm talking about, girl. Just give me some candy. It's like candy. Don't judge my life, okay? But thank you guys for being so awesome. If you guys have questions, you can definitely follow up with me. I will be back here next Wednesday. Thank you so much for being amazing. I hope all hearts and minds are clear, and y'all have a great weekend and a great holiday. Merry Christmas.